Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Sunday, August 13th, 2023. This, of course, is my newest segment of Markets A Look Ahead. People, let's talk. This market appears to be, stuck. It's not going anywhere with risk rising the way that it is. We have watched some incredible things take place ever since the MMRI crossed 250. We are now sitting at MMRI 265.8. Well, in case you haven't noticed, this market isn't doing a damn thing. And it won't, in my view. In fact, things might get really, really freaking ugly if, in fact, the Fed does not take direct action aimed at the debt market to, foster some kind of reduction in risk. With that said, look, you and I have known forever, that we would eventually reach a point where of maximum saturation where this whole thing, well, first of all, it doesn't make any sense. I don't care where you want to look at this market, commodities, cryptocurrencies, currencies themselves, nothing makes sense anymore. Fundamental factors don't matter anymore. Technical factors don't matter anymore. And this is a runaway market being propped up by runaway central banks collectively. You know all that. However, there's going to be a moment here when no matter what they do, these institutions, the central banks of the world, the problem they've created is so monumental. It's so, frankly, beyond belief. And I mean, this is obviously by design. It's going on here since the last meltdown, suppression of rates, causing distortions across the spectrum of asset classes, flooding this entire world with more debt than anyone, I think, no one would have ever imagined we would be in the situation where we're at. However, I got a little wake-up call here for you. We haven't seen anything yet. What does this come down to? You know this already, but I'm just going to tell you real quick. Even though the world right now, I mean, think about this, what I'm about to tell you. The world today is awash in debt more so than we've ever seen in the history of the world, quite obviously. And it grows every second of every day, around the clock, 365 days a year. Even though we're in this kind of situation, there's not enough debt. There can never be enough in this system that is debt-based, which means it demands that more debt be pulled into the now from the future. Most of you know this already, unless you're new here. The system can't function without that mechanism in place. More debt, more debt, more debt, more debt. This is why our politicians around the world, all of them, okay, have inflated the debt here. In the United States, the last several presidents have inflated the debt more so in collusion with the central bank than every other U.S. president going back to George freaking Washington. All right, there's a reason behind this, and they all know the secret. The secret is they must inflate. They must empower the central bank by calling for things like negative rates and weaker dollars and finding reasons to pull cash into the now. You know all this. And this is the same mechanism that's going on around the world. You think that's by accident? Do you think that there's even the slightest chance that this mechanism here is just happened to play out that way? No. It's been thought out to work like this decades and decades ago, and you and I are living in nothing but a freaking side effect of this. However, as you all know, and we've covered this at length for years and years, the first step here to realizing and seeing with our own eyes that things are getting grossly out of hand is surging global inflation. Okay, and we have this nonsensical fairy tale that has been told now since, I don't know how long now, it's been a while, since central banks started raising rates. Oh, it's going to fix inflation. Oh, we're going to be beautiful and lovely and fantastic. No. I'm sorry. They can't stop it, nor do they want to. A central bank's power resides in one thing, and you all know what that one thing is. Its ability to inflate. The more a central bank inflates, the stronger they become, not the weaker. Okay, these central banks have been on a mission for over a century now to continue to inflate, to suck the purchasing power of their currency out, to foster this new neo-feudal system, period. That's what this is all about, okay? The whole concept of a government of the people, by the people, and for the people, how this country was started, the United States, was a very novel idea, okay? But we let it go. Or, you know, you, me, our parents, our grandparents, we just kind of gave this all up, allowing a central bank to control the economy, the financial system, the financial markets. We've given up an enormous amount of freedoms and liberties on the back of that. Will we ever be able to get it back? No chance. It's just completely over. You may think that you have a choice, and you may think that if you vote for this person or the other one, it's going to make any difference at all. How about zero? No, it won't. Human beings are an interesting kind of a thing. Putting their faith in things that just aren't going to happen. In the face of seeing these changes, they continue to believe things are going to get better, and they just never do. But, I mean, that's part of the control that those that run the entire freaking show understand that people are going to do. And unfortunately, without a revolution, without a revolt, without some other kind of drastic action, it's just going to be over. And it's not going to happen, and you know why. We've covered this at length. Again, what's the system doing right now? It's creating slaves to the system, dependency on the system. The more people dependent on it, the more people will support it. And again, this is all going to change. For how long have you and I spoken about a whole new set of rules, a new dynamic, a new paradigm? It's in our face, and it's happening faster. Now, going back to this freak show of a market here, risk in this market is very high. Okay, look at the MMRI. It's color coded. It's numbered as well. Again, free to you, free to everybody. Link in description of this video. We are, you know, in a danger zone, so to speak here. And without direct intervention, this whole thing has the potential to melt down in a massive way. So what does that mean? What does it mean? You know this. What do you got to do? Bet against the debt, become your own central bank, because cash just moves through markets in relatively predictive manners. We have been in this deliberately induced fake risk-on market, meaning risk-on, meaning cash making its way into the stock market. That's called risk-on. Risk-off is when cash makes its way into commodities, tangible things, stuff like that. This has been deliberate to reinflate a bubble here in the stock market, to reinflate a housing bubble. Understand, and you've heard me say this before, central banks, none more so than the Fed, these are serial bubble blowers. They deliberately create these extremes in the market because, again, what does this do? More cash is made when markets fall than when they rise. People don't understand that, but you got these who bet against their own clients, and that's what they're going to do again. People are going to get wiped out from a financial standpoint if they're in, let's say, a 401k plan or something along those lines here. Excuse me. Man. Anyway, that's going to happen. We all know that. And cash is eventually going to bleed out of the debt market, like a hemorrhage out of the debt market. Again, it's a hyper bubble. The Fed must get control. Otherwise, it's over. Where's cash going to go? You know that. It doesn't grow little money wings and fly away. No, no, no. It's going to go into hard assets. Gold, silver especially, in my view. I think it's the most undervalued asset in the world. You all know that, okay? Do a little homework if you're new here. Look at the Dow-gold ratio, gold-silver ratio. I think we're going to get on par Dow-gold at a 1-to-1. Eventually, this market is in la-la land. You know that. It's not just Greg Mannarino saying it. We don't know where the bottom is. You know that as well. The bottom of this market could potentially be Dow 6,000 or lower. Why would I say that? Because that's where the Fed jumped in with QE1. Dow 6,000. If we hit Dow 6,000, in my view, we're going to get a 1-to-1 gold. So gold 6,000. And we're going to see silver at probably a 15-to-1 or maybe even a 10-to-1. I also think cash is going to make its way into cryptocurrencies in a massive way. You all know my take on all this. You can agree, you can disagree, you're allowed. But, just understand that this thing is not sustainable at all in any way, shape, or form. Currencies around the world are under attack by their respective central banks. The purchasing power is being sucked out. You can't be in in cash. Okay, me, I have very little cash laying around. I put my cash into assets, into things. I just bought a Kobo Camaro, very special car. Not, because I'm converting those fiat bills into an asset that I can touch and play with and go drag racing with. You know what I mean? I tell you, I'm in a lot of things. I own gold, silver, platinum, palladium, real estate, cars, musical instruments, artwork, into a lot of stuff. I feel you kind of got to be diversified. You won't know that. But you can't stay in fiat bills, period. Okay, you all know that. These things are under direct attack by their issuing central banks. And you don't even own these things anyway. We've talked about this a million times, but just consider the fact. Let it sink in. When you get up for work tomorrow, okay, you're working for the privilege to borrow that cash from the Fed. It's not yours. You work, you earn the privilege to hold that cash for X amount of time, but you owe that cash back to an issuing central bank, in this case the Federal Reserve, plus interest. They create out of nothing. You don't own that stuff. Those digits in your screen, those aren't even yours. You think they are? That's the illusion. It's not yours. Okay? It's a twisted situation here. Let me talk real quick about crude oil. We crossed $84, as you know. I said if we got a pullback around now, this stuff is going to find a new bottom and go much higher. We may be in the process of that now. Crude went from 84 to 83. It needs to fall further for me to believe this is an actual pullback or correction, establish a new floor. But energy, people, you know what I'm going to tell you. Energy is going much higher. You need exposure here. Two commodities. Hopefully you're a stacker. You're at least doing that. But if you want to find another way to gain exposure to commodities, I put out this stuff in my free newsletter, link in the description of this video all the time, exchange traded funds, stuff like that. Look, I got your back. You all know that. And we're going to get through whatever they want to throw at us, but just be ready for what's coming here. Understand, number one, without direct intervention from the Federal Reserve, immediate, this market has the potential to fall big. Again, the market is hoping that the Fed is going to do more. The market is going to send a message to the Fed, another one, by selling off, saying, listen, do more or it's just over. The market really kind of controls what the Fed's going to do in a lot of ways. The illusion of the markets must be kept real. Market participants understand that. Who keeps the illusion real? It's the central banks. It's the Federal Reserve in this case that's going to find a way to keep rates down, suppress bond yields, weaken the dollar on a relative strength basis more so than it actually is. And that, of course, will reduce risk in the market. Market's going to love it and go higher. I believe that is the most likely scenario here. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. But it doesn't matter. You and I are still in the right spots. We're still betting against the debt, becoming our own central banks, understanding the grand plan here, knowing what central banks are trying to do. All right? These are the government. Everything else is a sideshow, freak show, all this other stuff going on here. It's all about central banks. They run the show. They run it all. Not only do they control the economy, not only do they control the markets and the financial system. Here in the United States, the Federal Reserve controls the military. All right? The petrodollar is this is a wicked thing. And, honestly, the Federal Reserve will point that military might anywhere they want, inward, outward, wherever. Due to the petrodollar system, they will fight to keep the U.S. dollar as the world reserve, and this whole unfolding here with BRICS nations and everything else is going to lead to more conflict and death on an unimaginable scale. All wars are banker wars, you know that, and that's where we're going to go with this one too. So raise your awareness, people. All right, look, this guy's going to let you go. I love you a lot. Please share the video if you got anything out of this. Those thumbs up are valuable. Ponder the things we've spoken about here. Please comment. I will see all of you in the morning, and we'll sum this all up then. All right? See you later.